5 now, okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it says create a function that will multiply A and B that returns a product of two numbers, okay? So keyword def multipliers our name. The two parameters we're taking A and B. This could be more specific, and we could have called it num1 and num2, but as long as we're clear of what's happening, and also this is a very simple program. So we're going to print the results of A times B, which is fine. When we run it, remember nothing happens unless we call it. So to call it, we're going to write multiply along with the two numbers in the same, structure as the parameters. So we might put 5 and 6, and it's going to print it. This is perfectly fine. If you want to reuse this number later on in the program, you'd have to change this to return. So you're going to write return. Doesn't even need the brackets. Hey, you can use the brackets, but it doesn't need it. Return A minus B. The only problem is, because when you return it, it doesn't display, it just makes it usable. So if you want to see it, you could say print it, that result out. And what I mean is it's usable in other programs. So I might write number equals, and that will allow me to reuse this value here later on in the program if I wanted to use it for other bits of maths and whatnot. So just an example. Okay, program number, where are we? Write a function that called isEven that returns true if a number is even, is even, otherwise returns false. So we just save ourselves some time, save it in. So def if even, our parameter is called n, not very specific, but for now it's fine. And we're going to say if n, so a number to enter, modulo 2 equals 0, then it's even, print. Print true. Say print even or true odd. Print return true. Else print false. True and false. Okay. Just to explain what's happening here. So modulo, if you remember, modulo is a way of, it returns this little percentage modulo, it returns the remainder of a division. So at the moment, if my n was valued at 4, the remainder of that division is 0 because it goes cleanly into it, right? So if the number returned back as 0 after division, that means it is even. Otherwise it's false. So let's just test this out anyway. So let's call it is underscore even, and we call it with the numbers 7, for instance. It should return false because when you divide 7 by 2, the remainder will be a remainder, hinting that it's false. If I change this to 6, it will say true. Cool. Next one. Use a for loop to print numbers from 1 to 10. It's simple. It's a very simple one. For I in range, remember this I could be, you could change this I to mean anything, as long as you change it later than the program. For I in range 6, print I. So just to show you, I know this isn't going to be correct, but I'll show you why I'm showing you this in a second. So if I have this as I here, it needs to, if I change it here, it needs to get changed there. That doesn't matter. It's called a temporary variable. It doesn't matter what you name it per se, as long as it's clear to you. But in your head, you understand the I as each iteration, right? To simplify it. So every time you see I, so for each iteration in range of 10, print iteration, or each element, should I say. So when I run this now, this is good anyway. But it's proven us, remember, this counting starts from 0 and it stops at 9. So in order for you to get from, to have that 10 included, you're going to have to go 1 up. And the only other thing it asked you to do was starting from 1 to 1 to 10 and not 0 to 10. So you're going to have to put 1 Here's our starting number, and this is our end number. So now it will give us numbers from 1 to 10. The next one, also used for inputs and prints out the times table from 1 to 10. It's a countdown just to make sure. Excellent. So next one is also use a number and prints its times table. So you could do this multiple different ways, but let's try. So let's ask for a number. So we call it num input. Int was working number input. What is your number? And then you can say for I in range of, I don't know, say 1. For I in range from 1 to 12. Let's go 13 at the top. Print I. So we print I. So I times num. And what we'll do is print that times table over and over again. But to make it more specific, you can convert you can make it more specific in that, like say num times I equals, let's say, num times I I'm trying to overcomplicate it. We don't need to do that for now. So that, like I said, just quickly print I times num, and it'll print out the times table, whatever you ask to do. I was going to show you different, bit complicated to make it format as strings and stuff, but we'll cover that in class, in the upcoming class. And then last one you've got to look out for this video is calculating numbers. Write a program that calculates sum of numbers from 1 to 100 using a for loop. So for I in range of 101, because we want to use 100. So go count equals plus equals I. And then yeah, we just print out count, and it will show us the total sum of all these numbers to see. Oh, sorry, I forgot to define that at the top. So define as 0 start off. Excellent. But obviously we want it to include 100, so we go 1 up. And there we are, the sum of numbers from 1 and 100 added up together. And we'll do the next one in another video.